New Jaguar battery plant worth of £4 billion, 9,000 jobs. Why are we giving billionaires at Tata £500,000 to build factories in our country?
This is probably the biggest ever car investment in this country, and as you say, thousands of jobs on it, and puts us in the UK fast lane for vehicle production, electric vehicle production. We've always offered to incoming car manufacturers the right conditions. So we have something called the Automotive Transformation Fund. There's always been something before that. Which always looks to find out what they need in order to come here, and there's help with.
Well, they've got billions and billions of pounds. This is a multi-billion-pound business. Why do they need our hard-earned taxpayers' money to put up a factory, which they're going to make money from?
We live in a competitive world. You will have heard.
So we bribe people. We bribe companies. We bribed more than Spain did, basically.
That's not right, actually. What won it over Spain, which is, by the way, where it was going to go originally 9 months ago when I got involved, the first conversation was it's going to Spain. The reason they've come here is we have some outstanding research and development through institutes like the Faraday Battery Institute. We have the best skills. Jaguar Land Rover are obviously already based here, which is important, and they believe in the British economy and the way that this government, by the way, is tackling
things. They believe in it so much, they'll only put a factory here if we give them £500 million of taxpayers' money. I'm going to move on.
That number,
no, you said I've got to finish.
That number's not correct.
You came late to the interview, Mr. Shapps. I've got to have to interrupt you and move you on. I'm so sorry.
We want it to be factually correct, and that number's incorrect, but the actual numbers will come out probably.
Okay, right. Nigel Farage has had his Coutts account closed down as a result of a subject access request. We found out that it's not because he hasn't got enough money or any other reason. It's because, according to the bank, his values do not align with their values. They cited Brexit, his friendship with Trump, Novak Djokovic, net zero, LGBTQI ideology. Is it acceptable? Is it legal for a bank to close down an account because they don't like a customer's views?
Completely unacceptable. I'm a Democrat. You don't have to believe in what somebody else believes in, whether it's Nigel Farage or, for me, the Labour Party. But the idea that somebody should be unbanked because of their views is absolutely fundamentally against the sort of British democracy.
What's the government going to do about it?
We are, and my colleague, the Treasury Minister, Andrew Griffiths, is going to come to Parliament with a written statement to say what he'll be doing. We have, in fairness, told the Financial Conduct Authority in the past that it's unacceptable, not just to close accounts, but also to refuse accounts to people who are in public service. And often, by the way, their families as well. It's no way to treat people in public service. It shouldn't be about people's views. That's not their business. As long as their views are legal, then there's no reason whatsoever to...
Well, this is it. You can commit murder and still be allowed to have a bank account. Terrorist organisations still have bank accounts. But saying it's unacceptable and making statements, what is the government going to do about it? We're a 39% stakeholder, government taxpayers in NatWest, the owner of Coutts Bank. Can't we simply, but even if we weren't, can we not simply say, if you do this to any customers whatsoever, you will lose your licence, you are out of this country?
We want the Financial Conduct Authority, the FCA, to be much more proactive on this. And by the way, it's not just Coutts in this case, it's high street banks, it's the challenger banks. A lot of them have been refusing to open accounts. So what we're going to do will be set out by Andrew Griffiths, but it includes requiring the FCA to do some pretty significant work, making clear that it's not on to close people's accounts because of their views, and it's not on to refuse to open people's accounts. And by the way, not to do with their views, just because they happen to be related to somebody who's dedicated their lives to public service. That's not right.
What about teachers' views that a boy can't become a girl and a girl can't become a boy? Should those views be protected? We understand the government's guidance on trans guidance for schools has been delayed, or a battle over this. Should those views be protected as well for teachers?
Look, we do believe in free speech in this country, and this government has moved to make sure that this council culture and all the rest of it is put in the bin. People should be able to express their views, and of course there's the balance that has to be struck and the rest of it. The reason that we're taking time over this guidance is to make sure that we get it right for teachers, for parents, for pupils, and we'll get that done, and then we'll issue that guidance, which I think is all the schools are looking forward to having that guidance. They've asked for it, and we will make sure it's issued.
And talking of people exercising their views, Just Stop Oil have apparently painted your own Department for Energy Security and Net Zero. They've spray painted the department, saying there, of course, they want your government to immediately hold all new licences and consents for new oil, gas and coal projects in the UK and in the North Sea. Hope you've got your bucket and your scrubber ready to go and deal with that at your department.
Just seeing the pictures a bit, and look, obviously it'll be a matter for the police and prosecution and the rest of it. What worries me more is actually Just Stop Oil are funded by the same bloke who's given £1.5 million to Sir Keir Starmer's Labour Party, and Labour have adopted Just Stop Oil's main demand, and their main demand is that we no longer issue gas and oil licences, and unless Labour are going to tell people not to heat their homes and to immediately stop driving their petrol cars, then essentially they're saying they're going to import that oil and gas. And when they do it, it puts us at the behest of dictators like Putin. And worse still, imports twice as much CO2. This is what you get, not just with Just Stop Oil and their eco-warriors, but I'm afraid Keir Starmer and this Labour opposition who want to form the government. OK, just finally, I will let you go then. Migrant cruise ships, they've been refused docking in Liverpool and Edinburgh by Labour-run councils. We've got the Bibi Stockholm, that migrant barge has arrived in Portland in Dorset. The local people don't want it there. Where should migrants, asylum seekers who come on Channel dinghies live while they're waiting for the many years for their asylum process to finish? Well, I'll tell you what, Julia, the best solution of all would be to prevent those boats from crossing and stopping people from getting there. And this is what's getting there in the first place. Well, that's why we passed this week, actually, the small boats bill against huge objections, 70 votes plus against it by Labour in the House of Commons, the same amount again by Labour in the House of Lords, to try to prevent us from stopping the small boats. They don't want to stop them at all. That would be the solution. We need to process it faster. That's starting to happen. We've got rid of a fifth of the backlog. We've done deals with, for example, places like Albania, which are free countries, and there's no reason why people should be claiming asylum from Albania, and that has sort of stopped that flow of people as well. In the meantime, we do need to make sure that we can house people, and the Stockholm, as you say, will help with that. And I hope the rest of the ships are sourced.
But you wouldn't want 500 men being moved of any nationality, 500 men being moved to the end of your street, would you?
Well, look, I've got at least 2 locations in my constituency where there are asylum seekers. What really worries me about what's happening, is there are people being trafficked illegally across the Channel, and we are trying to pass bills, acts of Parliament, take every possible measure, and at every single step, Keir Starmer and the Labour Party are trying to block us. And that is what really concerns me, that this has taken far too long to get through Parliament, because we've had to continually push back on the Labour amendments and the time that's then taken. We should have been able to pass this a lot sooner and been taking action sooner. And the reason we haven't been able to is Keir Starmer and Labour. All right, Grant Shapps, I appreciate we actually got you for a decent length of time. Then good to talk to you. Energy security, I would say, or rather than and, Net Zero Secretary. Thank you for joining us.